So we'll get to the All-Star shenanigans in a minute.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
I got a rant.
Uh-oh. So I got some tea today.
Yeah, that's nice. There's this narrative about the product of the NBA being bad. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my problem. Because the people who cover the NBA for the networks that carry the NBA trash it all the time.
I'm with you.
Why? It's why Jeff Van Gundy was fired. I mean, I was telling someone the other day, last year, the season we had to go through I'm not asking people to feel sorry for us, but what we had to go through in our profession was very difficult because what was out there was a disaster, right? You with me?
100%.
100%. What if I went on the air last year during a pregame show and I just said, hey, Brevin, this product's a bunch of crap that they're throwing out there. I don't even know why people are watching.
You know what? I know what I would do?
Yeah. It's been nice working with you. What just happened? I can't imagine what our producer Scott Zachary would be doing in my ear.
He would be saying, Houston, I need 30. Houston, I need 30. We need a commercial. Houston, I need 30.
But you get that all the time from Perk, from Richard, from Stephen A., from Shaq, Kenny and Charles to an extent. And then
You get your players.
what Draymond did on national television the other night on a network he is paid by to talk NBA, and they're carrying the All-Star festivities, talks about how trash the whole thing is. And I'm like, my God. Well, why would, if you're telling us we're watching garbage, I'm going to assume it's garbage going in.
And not watch. Listen, you're. I'll be honest with you. Your take on this, in my opinion, is 100% correct. And the thing is for me, you don't have to continue to say how bad. Point out what you think, how it can be better in some way. Or it's always, I always tell people a lot of times, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And the problem at this point in time is the only way that these people continue to be who they are is shock journalism. Like, this is literally what this has become is I can say the most shocking thing so that people will keep watching. It's like, so it'll be something that gets run over and over. And a lot of times I sit back and say, well, damn, these are people who are supposed to, you got your own image. You already know you are supposedly somebody. Why do you have to keep going down this line of doing the same thing? And the thing for me was, we wouldn't have to go through trying to do all this extra stuff during the All-Star game if dudes went out and fucking played basketball at half pace. The whole point of what we did with Draymond's going on and saying this is garbage and the records, well, why should some people be scoring 55 points and why should that be considered something good when they're not being defended by anybody? I would fucking hope that Jason Tatum can score 55 with nobody guarding him. I would hope that Steph Curry can shoot half, Dame Lillard can make logo shots that they practice with nobody guarding them. So to say, well, now we're not going to be able to break the records, that's not a real record. It is not a real record. Nobody was defending anybody for those points to be what they were.
Like 400 points that game.
Come on, man. Like to me, it's all asinine. Like, all of it. Like, now, is there an issue in terms of guys? We already had this talk in terms of guys being able to go out and perform on a regular basis, play games. But this is not just a player's thing. It goes along with teams, with the load management, with all those different things that we have creatively come up with that don't have the major guys on the floor for the most.
Have fun, but don't go hard.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like at the All-Star game, we've watched it in the past where guys have competed to where you just half compete. We all know how to play enough to keep you in front. That when you go to shoot a shot, I just do it.
Like, dudes, pickup games in the summer are tougher than an NBA All-Star game.
So I'm not trying to hear from none of these dudes that have played in All-Star games in the last 10 years complain about shit. I don't want to hear you complain about nothing because you have contributed to where we are right now.
That's
The
right.
reason why we have to come up with gimmicks of play to 40 points, we're going to just rising stars be a part of it. Why do we have to do this? Because y'all asses didn't play. You went out there and it wasn't an NBA product. The 55 points, that was trash. Nobody wanted to see that. So to see people be like, we were sitting around for 17 minutes. Well, shit, the 17 minutes of a regular All-Star game that you would have played, we all was sitting around saying, this is a waste of time.
Waste of time. Welcome to Night Court. All-Star break.
Man,
You
I
think-
thought you were going to let me at least get
You
a
think
little
we'd
bit into it.
You'd think we'd be happy. It's All-Star break, right?
But the thing was, here's no one I was like, man, if they ain't gonna play, we might as well do something. What else is different to do? They play these couple games and see what happens. I like they changed up the skills thing a little bit with how they did it. Chris Paul tried to get over. You're not gonna get over. You disqualified, bro. You just killed young fellas.
Dude, they cheated. It started with
So this,
there's a product problem, Brevin. I mean, in the All-Star game, the old wily veteran cheats in an All-Star competition because he figures out it's a time competition and not a make.
I was gonna throw the ball. Yeah, that's the integrity of it is tested, and so you can't get by on that. They're not gonna do it. So it's like, the thing is, I thought the dunk contest was cool. I mean,
Skills thing's cool.
I thought the skills thing.
It is what it is.
It's what it is. But in terms of the game, bro, I'm not trying to hear nobody complain about the game. None of y'all that's been a part of All-Star games up until this point. I'm not trying to hear it, Joe, because there's nowhere in the world you can tell me you thought that those games in any way, shape, or form validated what the NBA was. And the thing I say is, there's a partnership between the players and the business of basketball. These things go hand in hand. And the only way that you continue to be able to make the amounts of money that you're making is because you go out and put forth a correct product. The guys that came before me, guys that played with me, there was an understanding that in order for us to keep going forward, then the game has to be good. We have lost that. It has literally become, there's no knowledge and understanding of what this influence is going to be on future generations. What's that going to look like? And so I saw somebody today talk about BRI, which is basketball-related income. And it used to be when I was playing, before me, it was like 56, 57% of basketball-related income went to the players. The other 43 went to the owners.
Right.
Man, I think it's almost down to 50-50 at this point. 51. I think at my time when I was there, we had a lockout. I think we got it down to 55 or 54 is what it had to get down to. And if the game keeps going like this is, then that number might now become the other way. So where now the owner's like, well, shit, we pay y'all a lot of money. Y'all don't really want to do this. And then we'll take the 51. Y'all take 49. And they ain't going to be looking around. They ain't going to be like, well, we're the ones that go out and play. How you give us, well, bro? This in the moment in your time of the understanding of the business, 'cause I always tell you this is the business of basketball. The NBA is not the sport of basketball. You got to figure out how we keep this business going. So sometimes you got to do some things that you may not want to do. The same way where sometimes you got to go do an appearance where you just came off of a trip and they're coming like, well, we got to go over and talk to these people. You may not want to do it, but you understand for the betterment of our job, for the betterment of this organization that I'm being paid handsomely from, I got to do some other things that are business oriented. And right now, they're making bad business decisions that may not affect these guys that are playing, but I promise you, it will affect this next wave of guys that come through.
He's Brevin Knight. I'm Rob Fisher. This is Night Court. 10 minutes in, just in case you didn't know who the hell we were.
You'll be like, these ranting lunatics.
Brevin is on Twitter at BrevinKnight22. I'm on Twitter at TheFishNation. Thanks for joining us. You can also watch every episode here of Night Court on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. So, All-Star, we kind of covered it. Now, except for a few things about All-Star. Oh, I got some good stuff.
Okay.
Giannis had a simple solution. We're just going to make a Team USA against Team World. And everybody's jumping on this because of hockey.
Yes, we got the hockey thing going on. Hope USA can beat Canada again.
Thursday night. Can't wait. Four Nations.
Four Nations.
Every time I say Four Nations, I want to say Four Nations under God. I don't know why. So what were we? So Giannis
is Team World, Team
okay,
USA.
Here's the thing. All right, if you did Team USA against Team World, it's playing East-West. I mean, it's not as hockey dudes are different. They are different than basketball people. I was around hockey for a long time. Hockey dudes are different. They play for the sweater.
Right.
They play for the crest on the sweater, and they've trained their whole life to do it.
Right.
And that is what the only goal they have in life is holding that cup, holding the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
That's it. It's not a ring. It's not being called a champion. It's not that. I mean, the contracts are great. Don't get me wrong, but it's about holding that cup. These guys are just mentally different. Hockey players are mentally different than NBA. It wouldn't work in the NBA. That makes no difference at all.
Right. Let me say, here's the other reason I think why that
Do
works.
what we just did, except improve it and get rid of all the downtime that you had.
Yes.
Don't play to 40, play to 60.
That's what I say. Play to more points. The other thing I think though is I feel like that in the NBA we feel like we've arrived. See, the reason why back in the day guys were having to do all that they did is because you were still trying to allow the league to ascend. Mm-hmm. The NBA still was just trying to fight with Major League Baseball. It's fighting with hockey. Like which are going to be the leagues that become the second league? Because at the end of the day, the NFL, I keep telling you, is in a stratosphere in and of itself. It's always going to be the number one seller.
Yes.
It's just what it is. But now you were fighting to get there. And I feel like for whatever reason, NBA, we now believe that, oh, we're here, we've arrived. And so now it doesn't matter, whatever. We're not the NFL, bro. No. Like, so it's not that it doesn't matter, whatever, it's still going to go on. Like, in the NFL can do things and people will get up in the uproar. It don't matter. It's on Sunday, the numbers are still going to be astronomical in terms of the amount of people that
Their
watch.
Pro Bowl shit was watched.
Exactly. It is fucking flag football. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you like people are going to tune in just because the NFL is what it is.
Yeah.
This NBA thing, man, we keep playing around with it. It's not that same way. And so I think for the hockey is they play for those things, but they also are still fighting for the exposure. They're still fighting for people for it to become a bigger league than what it is. I truly believe that in the NBA they believe that we're already there, but it's not. It is a very tenable situation where this can be rocky. It can go either way, and I would hope that those of us that are in this medium, that we would do a better job of explaining what you mean in that. Not just getting up there and being able to make some shock thing so that people will tune in, so you get more followers and you do all of those things. Just deliver the message better. Their message delivery is the problem right now. Are there issues with the league? Yes, there are issues with the league. Just explain it better.
Yeah. Nikola Jokic said, maybe we should focus on other things and then the All-Star game. I think it's always going to be like this, so we should just accept it. He's great.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's going to be some unhappy NBA players as we move forward, bro. I'll tell you, that new 11-year deal wasn't signed, and these networks not paying the amount of money that they're going to pay for it to not be something that people are interested in. And once they start complaining, it's fine for people to, us, whoever, I don't give a Stephen A., Kendrick, Perk, all these people that's complaining about the game, hey, you guys can kick around, don't mean nothing. When these big money, these real money people start complaining about it, there's going to be some changes. And them changes not going to be good for the people that's dribbling the basketball.
What else do I have? Oh, the best quote of the weekend.
Which one?
Hall of Famer Oscar Robertson.
Oh, I saw that one.
Man, dude.
I saw that one.
Asked to respond to Draymond's comments about the game being boring. And the man said, who cares what Draymond says?
All you've been doing is passing the ball to Steph Curry.
All you've been doing is passing the ball to Steph Curry. That's great stuff. That's great stuff.
Well,
Because
nobody's great because it's like somebody
we don't
is
hear from a lot.
and he's like the model of integrity. I mean,
Yeah.
you see, even still at this day, when you see him, he looks like he hasn't aged. Number one, it's like you just
Posture is impeccable.
always here,
Yeah.
hair perfect, never out of place, gear always tip top, and to hear him be a person to come out and say, I was like, oh shucks. I was like, hey, I guess people tired of just hearing you just spew and spout off stuff just because, bro. And that for me at this point,
I was happy to hear a legend say he enjoys the game.
yes. What the
You know,
thing?
because a lot of times you'll hear some of the old
get-
players talk about how the
not
game was
this and not
better.
that.
And
Yeah, but and the thing is, the game has changed and evolved. Yes, it has changed and it's evolved. But I would say that the game is getting more towards team basketball now more than it ever was in the past. Like, number one, we're not so much worried about the big three combining guys to be on teams. The other thing is you are seeing the ball move more now than it did in the past. In the past, it was literally, we're going to run pick and roll and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're watching teams where there is more movement. There are more people touching the ball. It's not just come down, we're going to watch these two guys play and those three guys are going to stand over there. At the end of a possession, it's going to get that way? Yes, it's going to get that way. That maybe if it starts that way, people come off. But I think that the trend is moving more towards team-style basketball than just being high screen and roll.
that's great stuff. And that's what the Grizzlies try to do.
You combine it with the talent that you have.
Yeah. All right. What else do I have? NBA. Well, I guess the Grizz. We got. Well, we had 2 games last week, but that was so long ago, wasn't it?
What?
At Phoenix.
Oh,
we
Phoenix
won, but we didn't work, so I really don't remember what happened.
Yeah, we were up top just yelling at, just being able to just cheer while the Phoenix fans don't. This is the other thing I realized about this is the other thing that may have hurt the game in some ways is this damn gambling. Like we literally sat there and the people were not what they were literally just all about
the first basket of the game.
Yeah, whatever they bet on. It wasn't about the game. It was just. And now you know why the disgruntled people are the people that's losing money to tell you they don't bet right and they lose money. Now the game is horrible.
And they had Zach Edey and he missed one at the rim.
They got blocked on another one.
They got blocked on another one. And then they came down the other end and scored and they all lost the bet. So it was kind of funny.
It was funny, but it was amazing how much of the talk around us dealt with what their parlays were and what all of the betting terminology, you know better than I do. But that's what it all revolved around.
Okay, I'm going to remind you again. You know I do a gambling show. Jeez.
And it's great.
It's called The Odds Couple.
He reminds me all the time.
You can get it wherever you get your podcasts. And the Grand City Media app.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Just a quick plug there.
Then we had a crappy game at the Clippers.
Yeah, that was a tough one. But you know what? I kind of chalked that one up too. They've been playing good basketball. You win in Phoenix, second night of a back-to-back.
It was a crappy day too in Los Angeles.
Yes, the weather was. Everything set up for it to go.
You didn't get that sunshine that can boost you.
The sunshine boosted us in Phoenix, and then the rain just demoralized us in LA.
Yes, it did.
We all felt that way though.
What did you think of the Dome other than your location?
Trash.
Other than your location?
Trash. I go there to do a job. I don't go there to watch a game or be. Listen, it's something brand new.
Cost over $1 billion. It better be nice.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So all of the other thing is you better not have light sensitivity. If you have light sensitivity, don't go to Intuit Dome.
That's true.
Because Jesus, the chairs and the lights are just out of this world. I mean, it's all the time. It's not like when something happens or like a timeout. It's literally all the time throughout the game. It's just lighting up all over the place. Light up, light up, light up, light up. And then we sit above the cameras. So that lets you know how high we are. Like,
that's crazy.
When you are sitting above the cameras,
that's high.
That you are now high in the arena. And so the entire time you're sitting there, it's like, I don't even know why we're doing this, bro. And how did this even get cleared for us to sit this freaking high to try to call a game?
There are only maybe 2 arenas that I've gone back to the media room for seconds in the middle of the game. Because we started getting our ass kicked, and I had just done a hit, and I'm like, they don't need me for a minute. Went to the media room, got me a grape soda.
Yeah, they had grape soda that I couldn't drink. That was so
And I got a Coca-Cola, and those were my 2 second-half drinks. But I had already had popcorn. They left me a donut. The people were so friendly.
Now that
So friendly.
that part was.
And shout out Justine. I walked off the bus and she says, "Are you Rob Fisher?" And I said, yeah.
Justine
And
was
she
fantastic.
said, "Come with me. I'll show you the arena." And I'm like, okay. And
She took us on a tour.
Took us on a quick, to the point. Here's how you get to your seat. I'll show you shit along the way. Was great at it and was pleasant and very nice. That was cool.
The best part were the people.
But then every person you walked by that worked there, they were all, hey, we're so happy you're here. Thanks for visiting. I mean,
it
was over the top.
No, I say
we'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, like I said,
but the honeymoon, good honeymoon.
Yeah, and like I said, parts of the arena were the arena part was fine. Like, to me though, it didn't feel like a basketball arena. It felt like a concert hall, with how the stands go like that, just go straight up.
Yeah, I understand that.
And then we were up so high, I felt like I was just in a bad seat at a concert hall.
Yeah.
I was like, just didn't want to spend enough money.
Did you have to watch the game on TV?
Watched it on TV a lot.
Really?
Oh, I mean, we watched it looking down at it. The other thing was, I started to know people on warm-ups before the game.
Yeah.
The reason why we knew who people were was because of the way that they shot the ball. It was like their shooting form gave it away. But if you would have just said, line up those 3 people, I'm like, I don't know who. I can't tell you who. I don't know who that is. I can't see their face from up here. That's Jim Jackson. Like, Jim, how you do this all the time, bro?
Oh
This is, man, you get your steps in all the time. So yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It goes.
My seat was. Well, my seat, I could see half the court. I had to stand up and go across the walkway and stand to watch the game. So like when we started getting beat, I basically sat in my seat and watched it on the monitor.
The Halo thing was cool.
The Halo thing was really cool.
And what's cool about it, how it's on both sides.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times when you get these you get those.
I mean, I don't think there's a seat in the place you can't see it. I mean, it's very unique.
You need it because you're so high you can't see the court.
Yeah.
That's the other way I watch the game, on the Halo thing.
The Halo thing is great though, and then they do trivia stuff where you can play from your seat.
Yep.
There are buttons in your seat, and they have phone chargers in your seat. Yeah. I mean, it's
cool.
It's got everything for a billion, couple.
That game thing. Well, remember I told you, light sensitivity.
Light sensitivity.
The goddamn thing for the whole time, just all over the place.
Here we go. This is the stretch run post All-Star break, part of the season. What's your vibe about the team? How do we feel going into this final? What do we got? 28?
28 games.
Yeah.
I still feel like they're a team to be reckoned with. I mean, the other thing though is we always say is you can't really stop what other teams are doing. And so right now the Nuggets on an 8-game win streak.
Yep.
They're playing extremely well. They've jumped up to just a half game behind the Grizzlies, and so the Lakers made their trade, and I think they're 5th because Houston is still is 4th. The Lakers are 5th. The thing that has happened is those teams have won enough to where that distance is one in which you can be caught. I just start to look at the 6th place team, which is I think 5 games behind the Grizzlies. So you would think the goal is, you want to stay as high as you can, you want to play good basketball, but the goal is also to make sure you get in the playoffs without having to do the play-in. Sure. And so for this Grizzlies team, it is. I think this is a crucial run for them, and a big part is going to be how healthy they are. How much do they get an opportunity to play with a full roster so that you can start to? To me, you got to start to work on some rotations as you're going to get to the playoffs because you would guess that once you get to the playoffs, guys are going to start playing 34, 30. Like your minutes will increase. And so with minutes that increase, that means that it gets a little shorter. But if you never have your full complement of guys, or it's an in and out, then you never get a chance to start to work on that. And so I think that is something that will help this team. But I still feel the same way. I still think that they are a top team in the West that can beat any team behind them at this juncture. The only problem is just Oklahoma City's just.
They're really good. I mean, every team has got to figure out how to beat them.
Yes, it's not just the Grizzlies. Everybody's trying to figure it out. Yeah. Nobody has figured it out to this point.
I say that about Boston. Well, I don't say nobody's figured it out because everybody, I guess, has had a chance now for a long time with Boston.
Right.
We're going to see Cleveland on this road trip.
Yes. Yes.
I guess I just haven't seen them enough to know if they're
deep. They're a deep team, and the thing about what makes Cleveland really good is which is the same as Oklahoma City, is why they have the two best records in the league, the same record, is they have offensive players that play defense. Mm-hmm. That is a huge, when you can get your main offensive guys to be defensive contributors, then that's just a world of it changes the game for your entire team. And so that's what they have. You think that with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, not saying that you got to be a defensive stopper, but you give defensive effort. Yep. On that end, they do that. Evan Mobley, who has changed on the offensive end, he's always been a defender, so he's there. They've gotten guys back and getting Max Strus back, and so they're a team that I think will be there to the end because they do play both sides and they have explosive guys on the offensive end.
Right, and then we got Indiana and Orlando as well on a back-to-back.
The thing for Orlando is a lot of talent. They just can't score. Yeah. Like you watch, you see, and you say, well, they got Banchero and they got Wagner back, and they're long and they're this and they play great defense. This is the issue comes in on the offensive end where I mean they can give you under 100 easily. In Indiana, I just don't. It's like they're one of those teams you like. It's like well, they should be good, mm-hmm. And then you play them, and it's like they can be, but then all of a sudden it just falters. And I think a lot of it is just they haven't had the same Halliburton that they've been accustomed to.
We've had success against Indiana here recently. We've covered the last 7, bruv.
Covered? How many does do? We won? Or did we just, for me, I'm a bottom like that. Cover don't mean jack shit if we losing the game. So the success is the success wins or is the success covering? Because we might have been successful in covering in Boston, but damn, we wasn't winning.
No. We've been winning some games too.
Okay.
I don't know what the streak is, but it's positive. It's positive against Indiana recently.
Dez and Jaren go back, and they usually have good games.
Yeah.
When we go back to that area, and now that is a fantastic arena. I mean, if you sat me up, that arena is to me one of the best in the league. The changes that they made to that arena and how it is, that is fantastic. And probably fantastic because we also still sit on the floor, so that's a little bit more.
That's cool. Yeah. Caitlin Clark makes $78,000 in the WNBA. Her agent says that Caitlin will never approach what she's worth. She says that maybe the WNBA should spin off from the NBA. No.
I don't know if it's ready to do that.
Yeah.
Because then what if it just becomes its own separate league, no financing at all from the NBA, then I mean you're talking about not just your salaries but the travel has to change, your hotels you got to take care of, and I don't know if there's enough advertising, enough TV revenue to be able to say, oh, we don't need this NBA money at all. We'll just go out and find all of our own advertisement, our own TV contracts to be able to move forward. Listen, there's no doubt that that is underpaid. She probably be like, let me go back to Iowa for NIL deal at this point. Probably can do more than that. But a player of her status, the majority of the money hers will be made off the floor anyway. And then I just think that the WNBA has continued to grow and it will continue to grow. and hopefully it gets to that point where they can be self-sufficient and doesn't need to be associated with the league. I just don't know. I don't know if it is ready to do that right now. But I would think that would be their goal at some point, was to be able to be a standalone league.
Yeah. All right. Did you watch any of SNL's 50?
I don't watch. No.
I think I'm going to watch it on this trip.
SNL, no. I've been golfing. I've literally been golfing every day.
Every day?
Going and having,
just
going to dinner.
Was it great?
Yeah, we had a good time, man. It was nice. I never been to Palm Springs before. Bro, those people, they live a great life during the winter in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Whew. But they got a funky airport. It's like outdoor, indoor. Like you go through security, and after you go through security, you walk back outside. And then people are just laying on the grass. They got some seating, and then you wait for there is like a little bit of an indoor
walk over to your plane, or
no, so you walk, and then then you go back into a concourse type thing to go get on a plane. But those areas are not big. The majority of it is outdoors.
Interesting.
Well, they say it only rains 10 times a year. So and the only 10 times you can have an open air airport.
So 10 times a year, it's hell.
People have stuff to say. But the other times are when it's just 120 degrees. People got to be just stuffed inside wherever they can get.
Yeah. Four Nations hockey Thursday night. Go USA. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be intense.
9 seconds into the last one.
Yeah.
3 fights.
Yeah.
9 seconds in.
Yeah. It was intense, and then it was really good hockey.
I couldn't tell you what good hockey or bad hockey is.
I know, and all you people. Well, it works in the NHL. No. It's different, man. But shout out to Team USA, and boo our anthem. How about that?
They were doing that. They were doing it a little bit. We didn't have it at our game. Like before we got to Toronto, though. It happened, and then it didn't happen.
A Canadian player was asked what will happen if they get their anthem booed when this game's in Boston, which you assume it will be booed. Right. He said, "That's okay, because we play for this flag."
All right.
Hockey players, they're just.
Yeah, I mean, listen, those.
Go get
those. I don't think those people were booing the anthem, though. So we just get it straight. That wasn't a booing of the national anthem. We all know exactly who they were booing. So
yeah,
that's an entirely other thing to talk about.
And half of America's like, they're booing us, me. They're booing me, and they're gonna go to this game,
and they're gonna be,
and they're gonna boo. Oh, can I boo?
They're gonna boo, and then I'm gonna sit there and be like, hey, that's fine. You guys can do it, but I understand why Canada was doing it.
Yeah. All right, one shout out. Mac McClung, good for you.
Hey, right, 3 in a row.
3-peat, unbelievable.
I'm going to tell you this much, though. My brother thought it was all a farce.
Man jumped over a car.
He said, my brother, listen, he just said, the only thing is, he never took the ball from anybody's hand just like this. It was always planted on dude's head so I can grab it and keep gliding. I said, Brandon, listen, I'm going to tell you this much.
That's fine.
You can say whatever. He probably could have done that, but God, dog. The dude, it was a...
That's not like Chris Paul and Wemby cheating.
But it still was the skill to be able to do. And this is the other thing I said. He made every dunk.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing that was so cool about it. He made every dunk.
And I noticed this picture of you and Bernie Bickerstaff. I wanted to also give a shout out to JB.
Oh.
His team is in 6th place in the East. The
JB.
Detroit Pistons are in 6th place. Remember last year they had like 2 wins at this point of the season.
Do it. Shout out to JB.
Shout out JB.
That's Bernie there trying to save me some money. He didn't work. I mean, he saved me some, but I think it was only he saved me from 15 to like 7,500.
Oh yeah.
On that one there. But so I thanked him for saving me, because I definitely would have gave 15 with what happened with that official. That was not good.
All right. Well, BK, that's all we got the time for, man.
Yeah, it was a good one. We got to heat it early today.
Got to heat it early. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring bad vibes into the show. But
people gonna turn us on and be like, man, there's
people talking bad about my league, man.
The NBA is gonna listen. The talent level in the
Look, I
NBA
got
is just fine.
There it is.
Yeah, the talent level in the NBA is just fine. I told you last week what I thought has to change. Guys take more control of playing games. Let's get off all of this load management. Can only play so long. Stop letting that be a theme that now goes in someone's head like, well, I can't play this. I can't play anymore. This isn't as much as I can play. No, if you're feeling good and you play, let's play every game, man. Like that's the biggest. If you want it to be better, the main guys of the NBA have to play more games. Like it can't be a situation where people come into games not knowing if the main people in the league are going to be playing. That is the biggest thing that has to change. And if you can get that to happen, then the rest of it takes care of itself.
Yeah. All right. That'll do it for us. Thanks for joining us here on Night Courts. Again, you can watch every episode of the show on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel, as well as listen to the program wherever you get your podcasts. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. For Brevin, I'm Fish. We'll talk again next week here on Night Court.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Night Court Podcast. If you enjoyed Rob and Brevin, hit that like button, subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube channel, and enjoy the content. We will see you back here next time.